In its first full season, Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live reached over 2 million people. Crazy if you think about it. We see this as more than just a podcast. It's a movement to bring the spotlight to the tracks, racers, and fans of Kentucky dirt racing. We've got a lot to talk about and a lot of people to talk to. This is Kentucky's Dirt Racing Podcast. Welcome to another edition of Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live, presented by Bluegrass Restoration and Construction.
All right, and welcome into the Wilson Plumbing Studio here on Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live, presented by Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. I'm Josh Chastain. He's worldwide, Wes Lanham. Wes, tell you what, man, it's been a long off season. We had a lot of fun traveling up and down the roads a little bit, getting out and talking to some people here in our racing community. But it's really good to be back in the studio here on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. and get going with our regular season, man. We've got a lot of people to talk to and a lot to talk about. So just excited to get back on here.
Absolutely, I can't wait. It's been a long off season, so ready to get back going and get 2024 started off. First official show tonight, and just ready to go, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you. I do want to mention real quick, like I said, our show is presented by Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. They're back with us here again this year on the show. It means a whole lot to us to have them back, the whole gang over there. When it comes to a home, anything to do with a home building, they can take care of it. So reach out to them. Let them know you heard about them here on Dirt Racing and the Bluegrass Live. And then, of course, this being the Wilson Plumbing Studio, our good buddy Robbie Wilson over there can take care of your plumbing needs. So reach out to them. We just greatly appreciate our sponsors that help us out here and help make all this possible here on the podcast. You can call the Absolute Seamless Gutters hotline. That's 859-412-1287. That will be available for you to call here this evening as we get back to the end of the regular swing of things. We do want to hear from the race fans here in Kentucky. As I forgot to plug my phone up and just had to plug it in. So there we go.
Come on, jumping Josh.
The hotline is ready. So yeah, here we go. Give us a call, 859-412-1287. Well, Wes, like I said, I was able to go this past weekend, man. I actually got my racing season started at Florence Speedway, the spring 50 over there. Just an absolute stacked field of race cars. I mean, over 30 super late models, and the drivers that were there, I mean, it was just unbelievable, the field there. They were racing against the Hunt the Front Series, had their season opener the same night, but man, Florence, that place was packed with people ready to get the off season over with. Man, I was really shocked about the crowd that was there because this time of year the weather's not perfect, but man, people came out ready to get the racing season underway. It was truly a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was jealous that I wasn't able to fish my tournament that morning and make it to Florence due to the early start times, but just glad that you all were able to make it up there to Florence, and looking at the pictures and keeping up with the race throughout the night. Just awesome crowd, awesome car count, all three classes, and just as you said, a stacked field. People's ready, to get the off season behind us and definitely get racing going again this 2024 season.
Oh, yeah, absolutely they were. I do want to ask you real quick, if you're watching on here with us, we appreciate everybody for tuning in here this evening. This is our first show back after the off season here on Wednesday nights, so we want to get our viewership up as high as we can possibly get it. Let's break the century mark or double it. It would be even better for our first show back on here on Wednesday nights. So share this out with your friends. I know it'll take a lot of people to get back into the swing of things and getting on here on Wednesday nights and joining us. But if you don't care, just take a minute there to hit that share button, get that out to your friends as well. And one other thing I wanted to mention real quick, Wes, it is March Madness. I'm getting ready to make the trip up to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Can't wait. I've got to make my annual trip up there to see the Cats. Now, hopefully, 2 years ago I went to Indianapolis. We got beat by St. Peter's. It was my first ever NCAA tournament. Went to Greensboro last year, got knocked out by Kansas State. I'm banking on this year, man. The outcome's going to be a whole lot different, and we're going to at least make it through that first weekend of the Sweet 16. I'm making the trip to Pittsburgh saying it can't be a short trip again.
If it is, you just stay up there in Pittsburgh. Don't come back.
Yeah, I probably should just stay at the house.
If you're gonna go 3 for 3 and we get beat, I mean, Jumping Josh will be jumping for sure.
I know,
dodging
man.
Bullets.
Yeah, I know. And honestly, the more I realize, to be honest with you, I truly realize I probably should just stay at the house. But man, I love that NCAA tournament. It's honestly, the tickets are cheaper than any other tickets you can buy, and you can go up there and watch all the games, and it's just a whole lot of fun. So I'm going to give it one more shot this year. If it don't work out for me, next year I'll promise everybody I'm staying at the house. I'm not going back up there. So we'll see how it goes. But I think this team could get beat in the first round. I think they could. I think they could get beat tomorrow. I think they could win the national championship. But we're getting ready to find out. So we'll see.
That's a very true statement. I'm just aggravating you. I wish you safe travels and go up there and get the W.
Yeah.
Bring the Cats home victorious. But yeah, you're 0 for 2 right now. So better get a win this weekend or tomorrow.
Yeah, I know, man. That's what we're shooting for sure. And one other thing on that, we're having our bracket challenge again this year for all of our podcast listeners. We did this last year. This year we've already got several people signed up on there. So you got to get it done by, I would say, tonight. First thing in the morning, get in that bracket challenge. I think we've got like 25 or so brackets in there, so that should be a whole lot of fun. So get on there, go to the page. I posted a link there. You can go to the bracket challenge and fill out your bracket. We'll see who's I'm terrible at those, but anyways, we'll see who the best bracket picker is. We'll find out here in a couple of weeks. So, well, Wes, let's go ahead and get right onto it. This is a season preview show over these next couple of weeks here on the podcast. To start our season, we're going to do season preview shows for all of our racetracks that want to. We've got several already signed up. Going to get to as many of those as we possibly can, as many of those as want to. Starting here tonight, we've got Richmond Raceway, Bill Apinos, getting ready to join us, and then Rockcastle Speedway, Dwayne and Michelle, and I believe their grandson is going to be joining us on the show here this evening. But like I said, let's go ahead and get right to it and bring Bill Apinos, the owner, promoter, Richmond Raceway, of course, on here with us tonight. Bill, excited to get this brand new racing season started, and really appreciate you joining us on here this evening.
Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's no problem. I know you've got a lot going on. You running the promote the Richmond Raceway. You've got the Ultimate Series, Ultimate Heart of America, Fast Track Racing Series, Weekend Warrior program, all kinds of stuff that you've got going on. So you're a busy man, I imagine, to say the least.
Yeah, we got a little bit going on. A lot of the off season was spent with the marketing partners and racetracks and all for all the series, between Ultimate Southeast, Heart of America, and Fast Track, and then putting together the Richmond schedule and all that. And as you can tell by my forehead, I was outside today doing some stuff on a nice sunny, beautiful day, and got some sunburn going already. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, for
that
sure,
is
man.
A good thing. Enjoy the pretty weather when you can.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. What kind of stuff were you out there doing today? I'm sure there's a lot of things that go on off season leading up to a race that a lot of times people don't even think about.
Yeah, I mean, actually today was a lot of cutting branches and all that stuff and picking up stuff from the winter that was all over the place so we can get mowing and getting that part of it going because, it was a very windy winter and, there's a lot of stuff everywhere. And up front there in our parking right outside the main gate, we were cutting all the the tree branches and everything from along that fence where some of the handicap parking is, and getting that all cleaned up so we can go on from there.
Yeah. Gotcha. So, well, sounds good. Looking forward to it. I mean, Richmond Raceway has always been my home track. It's always been a special place to me. There's nothing like, and this just me personally, there's nothing like pulling into Richmond Raceway, and came to your house the other day to buy some shirts, and just pulling in the gates there. I know it's just home to you, but like, man, I'm like, there's just something like special, sacred almost, as silly as that sounds, about this place. So
I get it.
it's just a cool place, and really appreciate everything that you all do over there. I know you've got a big season coming up, some changes to the schedule, some changes to the Butterball. Want to talk about all that first with Richmond. Let's talk a little bit about the schedule coming up for the season.
Actually, I'm totally honestly with you guys here. We're putting the schedule together, knowing that it's going to be, a limited schedule with all the tracks that are around here now. I honestly took Rockcastle's schedule, which they put out at their banquet in November, and pretty much put Richmond on their off weeks, because for us both to survive and, kind of be good with the fans and the cars and everything in the area, running over top of each other doesn't make a lot of sense. And I know, we talked to Kevin and Dwayne about the ultimate race that we scheduled with them. We were going over that as well. And, our opener, the 27th, they are running that night, but we're not going to run the Crown Vics because we have that Weekend Warrior Crown Vic deal going on with those guys. And just both running them same night, it's kind of counterproductive. And then, the end of the year, our 7th annual Damn Yankees 50, they are running that night as well. That's the only 2 times we overlap. But we're running the Prelude on Friday, which we'll run Crown Vics and KDRA. On the Saturday, when we're running the Damn Yankees 50 and they're running, we won't run Crown Vics and KDRA. That way those guys can all go down there and race. And, otherwise, when I put the schedule together, like I said, they're off May 11th. We're going to have in the Cumberland Plateau Modified Series run May 11th. They're off June 15th. We're having back Allen Tilley's KDRA Series that night. They're off June 29th. We're going to run to their Fan Appreciation Night. We just kind of put it together where if they're off, we were going to run and just kind of make it work that way.
Yeah. I think that is really cool too, Wes. I mean, we've talked about that, with being so close, and I realize like there are going to be times that there's no way around it that tracks are going to run on the same nights. That's just the way it is. There's too many tracks around not to, but when it comes to classes and trading out classes, and just when you can, and when possible, working together on some of those things is really a cool thing.
Yes.
It is. And I really like our tracks working together, but especially, you can run the same nights, but give a certain class off if they're paying big money, down the road, an hour and a half, and just work with these guys, and they'll show you that same respect, and it's just good for everybody. It's good for promoters, fans, drivers, all inclusive. So I love it. I love the working together, and that's just going to keep making our sport better, and just keep building upon what we've got.
Yeah.
Even with our opener, we're running my Fast Track Racing Series that night, and we know that the other local tracks are running as well, but we know that we have some followers on our Fast Track Series from kind of all over the place. We also know that some of our weekend tracks over, in West Virginia and all that aren't open yet. So our Weekend Warrior points also follow our series. So we know we're going to got great guys coming in from far away. Yeah. So, the local guys are going to go, somewhere else. We will still have a decent car count. And then, we're also having in Allen Tilley's series for his series opener that night as well, which should be a lot of fun. I know he's put a lot of work into that series, and, we're happy to support it. And the one thing that I'm definitely not doing is anytime that series is running somewhere, if we are running, we're not running KDRA. Yeah. Because for his series to be successful, we can't have every single track running that class when he's trying to do his thing. Yeah. So I believe the only overlap we had was August 17th, which is the Butterball. His series is at 191, so we're just not going to run KDRA at all that night. Let those guys go and chase their points and, do their thing. Let him have his support that he needs.
Yeah, well, understandable for sure. Yeah. So you got that. You got the April 27th race there with his opener, as well as the Fast Track Racing Series for the season opener. Really looking forward to that. Tell us about the other events you've got coming up between that opener, and then of course we'll talk about the Butterball here in detail in just a minute too.
Yeah, we're opening here, like I said, April 27th, and we come back May 11th because we are taking the 4th off because we're on the road to Fast Track. Plus, that's the Lucas Latham Memorial up there at Florence, and we know everybody goes there, so we're not going to run over that. But we come back May 11th. We have the Cumberland Plateau Modified Series coming in. Matt Barrett from American Racer Series, they're coming in, and then we'll run Crown Vics and KDRA and crates that night as well. And then we're going to come back June 15th because we have a lot of stuff going on between May 11th, June 15th as well. And we'll run Alan Tilly Series again that night, along with the regular card of classes. June 29th, we're doing our fan appreciation that we actually lost last year due to the wonderful storm that decided to come through. Mm-hmm. So Robinson's Premium Meats down there in London, who supplies all our burgers and hot dogs and barbecue and all that, came on as a sponsor for that again. So we'll do the $5 grandstand, $1 hot dogs that night, and run a regular program. Come back in July with Ultimate Heart of America's first appearance, 10th Annual Butch Shea Memorial, and then the Butterball. Do you want to go into that now, or you want me to finish up?
Yeah. I've got a question just out of curiosity, because I know that's something you've done for several years in a row now. I was actually talking to someone about this earlier today. With that fan appreciation night, I know there were years there. I think, if I remember correctly, Kentucky Speedway was behind that, and was it? Did you do free grandstands with
the year
that?
that Kentucky Speedway sponsored that, we did a free grandstand.
Yeah,
and it was crazy how many people were here, and it was just absolutely nuts.
Yeah,
it was good, and I'd love to do that again, but the sponsor that I have on for that, it's not quite the same as what they did, so it is a $5 grandstand.
Yeah, sure.
And the $1 hot dogs to go with it kind of helps you a little bit, because if you're getting it free but spending more at the concession, you didn't really save any money. So if you're going in for $5 and getting a hot dog for $1, you're still all right. So hopefully people come out and support that.
Yeah, I didn't mean that in a bad. I mean, I get the $5. Trust me, I imagine that's tough to do. The reason I was wondering is just out of curiosity of how do you see a fan attendance increase on those nights? I mean, does it seem to work for you? I guess was
that free grandstand night with Kentucky Speedway. It was absolutely crazy how many people were here. Yeah, I mean, it was just nuts how many people were actually here that night. I have never seen, even at the Butterball, the first year we ran the 20K Butterball, and it was people standing up along the wire out by the grandstand, like 3 or 4 deep. It was bigger than that. There were just so many people here. Yeah, it was crazy.
That's a cool thing to be able to do too. Even like with the $5 admission, because you're giving people a chance to come for a very low admission price, and maybe reaching people that normally maybe wouldn't come to events there at the track. So
I mean, that's a big hope that you have, is that you'll get people that don't normally come to racing that will see they can go out and bring the whole family in for 2 adults, 2 kids for like $10, and get a $1 hot dog and watch some racing, and maybe they love it and they come back, go to another track, follow a series, whatever. Maybe they hate it, you don't know, but it's the opportunity that you hope to bring in people that don't normally come.
Yeah. It's a really good
thing. For the people
thing.
that do normally come, they get to come in cheaper. It's a thank you for them too. They come every time you race. Well, now tonight is only $5.
Sure.
Thanks for coming. We appreciate you coming when it's not $5.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Let's talk about the biggest one of the year then coming up in August with the Butterball. A little bit different this year, but I like the changes. Let's talk about the changes.
Yep. Well, what we're doing with the Butterball is we're going back to the 1-day show, because the whole idea of the 2-day show came from when it was before I owned Ultimate. It was the owner of Ultimate said, if you run a 20,000, you do 2-day qualifying, blah, blah, blah. And we just kept it going. And it doesn't totally really work out. A lot of people don't want to come Friday night just for heat races. And a lot of the drivers are, don't really want to come and do that and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So, we're not going to pay 20,000 to win anymore. And before people lose their minds, I'll explain it. It's going to be 12,000 to win. But what we did, and this was from a lot of conversations with a lot of racers, the purse is the same. But we're spreading money. We're taking from going 20, 10, 5 and on down. We're going 12, 7, 5. And we're taking that money and it's being spread all throughout the field, where start money doesn't start at 13th anymore to be $1,000. Start money is $1,200, and that's 24th place only. So every position in the field is going to pay a different amount of money. One example just to give you is last year on a $20,000 win race, ninth place paid $1,100. Now on the 12, ninth place is paying $2,100. And the racers that I've talked to that know they can finish ninth and get $2,000 instead of $1,000 or $1,100, people like it. And it's a one-day show, so it's the one-day pit pass, and it's the full program. And, we didn't take any money away from it. We just totally moved it completely around the field. And from a lot of racers that I've talked to with what their costs are and what things are going, how things are going, it's going to be a better thing for everybody. Mm-hmm. And, you start the race and you drop out on the first lap, you're still getting $1,200, which is, and like I said, with every position paying something different too. It's not where, okay, start money started at 15th. I'm sitting out here running 17th. I might as well just pull in, whatever. You're fighting for money at every position. And, that's good too. And then, we're not going to run crates separately that night like we have in the past, because a lot of them kind of hang out and say, okay, how many supers you got? Do I want to run the supers? Do I want to run the crates? Last minute, they decide. So we're just going to do a crate bonus. So, $200 crate bonus. If you make the field, you're guaranteed $1,400 if you are the only crate and you finish last. You're getting $1,202. You have to win the crate race to make that much money.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have some crate guys that make it, because we always have crate guys that make it. There's some crate guys that are just really good and they can make these super races. You're gonna have a crate guy come out, get the crate bonus, finish ninth, and they just got $2,300.
Yeah.
That's a special event sometimes for a crate race.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, I have talked to a lot of races. I actually talked to Brian Woolbridge too, being his family, about what I was thinking doing. He was all in on it. A lot of the racers I've talked to were all in on it. They all thought it was a really good idea. And so that's the direction we're going to go with it this year. And, we're, like I said before, we're not running KDRA that night because Alan Tilley Series is at 191. So our plan is to run the Ultimate Heart of America Super Late models, the Modifieds, and the Crown Vics, all for higher payout. And that's going to be the program.
Yeah.
It'll be the one night.
I like it. I like the one night show. I like the pay throughout the field rather than a all top. Winner take all, spread it out through the field. I like that. Get a good purse, even starting money. And then, like you said, each position, you're fighting for more money with every car you pass. So I like that. And 2-day shows, sometimes they're good, but I love a one night show.
Yep.
That's just me personally.
Yeah, I do too. I agree with you completely. I talked to Bill about this earlier in the year, and I think it's perfect. I think it's a great change, and it works out better for everybody. I mean, like you take it for example. Ricky Weiss, I'm just using him for an example. He's going to come down for a 12,000 to win show that pays good throughout the field the same way as he did, the 20,000 to win show. And then, all of your local guys, including those crate guys, have a chance to go home with a really good payday as well. So you have a chance to pull some people in from out of town, but you're also taking care of the guys you got around here, and a one-day format just less. I mean, honestly, I imagine a lot less stress and work for you guys versus having a 2-day show. So, I mean, I think it's a good thing all around for everyone. I imagine that 2-day Butterball weekend for you all has to be a pretty hectic weekend, turning around, re-preparing the track and all that stuff too. So
it's crazy. A lot of the nights we were going to bed about 5 a.m. and getting back up by like 8 to get back out there. And it was tough. But we are still racing the night before over Mountain Motor with Ultimate though. We're running the inaugural Tim Breeding Memorial Mountain Motorsports Park or complex. I guess that's what they call it now. The night before, and then coming back here. So we do have a 2-day show, just not both here. Yeah. So that should still also work out to be a pretty good deal to get guys in town, and they can go run both races.
Yeah, I think so. So really looking forward to the Butterball this year. I think it'll just overall be a great event, and awesome changes there that you've made to the just a huge event here in this area, and I think it's a great thing. Let's talk about the end of the year. I want to take some time here before we run out of time to talk about your series as well. The end of the year there at Richmond is always a big event.
September 20th, we're running it's a Friday night. Our only Friday we're running the whole year is the Prelude to the Damn Yankees. It's a 3,000 win fast track race. And like I said, we'll run our Crown Vics and KDRA that night. The next night, 7th annual Damn Yankees 50 will be 10,000 to win this year instead of the usual 5. We're going to go up to the 10,000. We're going to run the Modifieds, and we're having in the Queen City Compact Tour that night. So it'll be just the 3 classes. And then we come back at the end of the year, October 12th, with the Bluegrass Nationals $7,500 win Ultimate Heart of America and that will be the series championship event also, which last year our series championship came down to the last night when Dustin passed Tristan there the last night to win the championship. And so that will come down to, that will be our final for that series as well. And that'll do it. We'll be in October, and that'll be the season.
Yep. So be an awesome season there. Really looking forward to it. Well, that kind of leads into what I wanted to talk about next, and I wanted to get to this before we ended this conversation, because the Ultimate Heart of America Super Late Model Series has a big season coming up, and then specifically right here in the state of Kentucky is just. I'm excited about it and really looking forward to it. So let's talk about that a little bit.
We're opening up in Indiana. Our first 3 races are in Indiana, and then after that, everything's in Kentucky. We're opening April 13th. A $7,500 to win up at Paragon. We opened there last year too, and we had 32 super late models, which was a really good turnout. So we're opening there again April 13th. And then we come back up in Indiana again May 31st at our first ever appearance up at Bloomington on a Friday night. We go back to Paragon on that Saturday for another 7,500. So we have a double header up there. Those tracks are only 35 minutes apart. So, should get a good turnout. We're hoping for both, and, just travel up the highway and you're there for the next night. Then it all starts Kentucky. We're going down to Thunder Mountain July 5th down there in Corbin. I can't thank Dennis and Lori enough for having us in. It'd be a $5,000 win on the Friday night. Then we're heading to Rockcastle for the first time the very next night for the Tommy Lanham Memorial. Kevin and Dwayne, we met with them ironically at the barbershop, which is kind of a cool place to have a meeting. But I didn't talk to them. And
did you get a haircut while you were there?
No, it was on a Monday. He was closed. That's why we thought it was a perfect place to have a meeting. So we went and talked to them, and and they said they were going to give us the race, and it's a 7,500 to win race. So we'll be down at Thunder Mountain one night. Just drive up the highway and get right there to Rockcastle. And I think it's going to be a great weekend. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I know a lot of racers that we're supposed to have a lot of followers on Ultimate anyway. I just don't talk about that until they're signed on. But I've heard from a lot of guys that are talking that they're following our series, which is great. But, it's going to be a fun weekend, I think. I think it's going to be fun for everyone around, the racers, the fans, everybody. And then, 2 weeks later, we're here at Richmond for the Butch Shea with Ultimate. And then the very next week, we head to Paducah. So, we have a busy July. All the races are right here in Kentucky, and it should be a lot of fun. And then Butterball and Bluegrass Nationals. But our goal was a 10 to 12 race schedule. We do have the 2 Pennsboro races on there. They're bonus races. So that's a race of regions that Barry invited us to go to. We're not counting it as a regular series event because it's not a regular series event, but it is on our schedule. They are bonus races. If people want to go, they can get points and replace the worst finish. If they don't want to go, they don't have to go. But that is on the schedule for Ultimate. But, it should be a fun season. With everything we have going on, we only want a 10 to 12 race schedule. Plus, I know a lot of the racers around. That's a good schedule for them too. They're happy with that because we have the $10,000 point money up there again for the champion. A lot of contingency sponsors in place this year for Fast Time, Pole Award, Hard Charger. We've got a lot of people on board giving these guys stuff every time we race, which is great.
Yeah, it is great. I don't know, Wes. I'm really looking forward to that Kentucky, just that swing right there, man. Just the Thunder Mountain, Rockcastle, Paducah, Richmond, right there. It's just, man, that's just really cool. I can't wait.
I think it's gonna be great. I really do.
And looking forward to Tommy Lanham Memorial being a super race. A lot of people have asked for that, and that race is dear to my heart. Miss Big Tommy every day, and so really, really looking forward to that. With your series, putting the show on, and then at Rockcastle. So just really, really looking forward to that, and then racing Friday night before it at Thunder Mountain in Corbin. So that's going to be an awesome weekend.
Yeah, definitely sits up. Well. Yeah. To be a big one. So can't wait. A lot of good stuff coming up this season for you all. Really happy for you. Looking forward to it, and we appreciate your support, your partnership of our podcast and everything we do here at Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass. It really means a lot to us. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do things the way we do it, and your support truly means a lot to us. We greatly appreciate it, and thank you for coming on here with us tonight.
Appreciate it. Like I told you, you guys are more than welcome anytime you want to come out, come into these series races, come hang out.
Yeah.
Because you guys come down to the infield and notice things are a little different than people think they are. And,
yeah.
And things are a little crazier than people realize, but it's usually fun. But no, I appreciate you guys a lot and what you guys are doing here for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We enjoy it in the infield at Richmond or wherever we're at. So it's truly a lot of fun. So yeah, have a good evening. We'll catch you in April if not before then. But again, we appreciate you being on here with us tonight. It's been a lot of fun.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks.
We wish you the best this year.
Appreciate it.
All right, and so Bill, I kind of cut him off there. I didn't mean to. I hit the button too soon. So my bad on that. Didn't mean to do that, but I think he was saying he appreciates you as well, Wes. As best I could read it, but like I said, it means a whole lot to us for our racetracks support and for them to be behind us and coming on this show. We love supporting them and helping them, and like this is one way that we're able to do it. So, that's just an awesome thing for us, for sure.
We sure do. Love it.
Well, I need to get to one thing. We're running a little bit behind schedule. Dwayne and Michelle have been waiting on us, but something brand new. I'll go through this as quick as I can here on the podcast this year. Last year, we did what we called Live's Top 5, and that was a whole lot of fun. We got to talk about several of our racers here in the area. But one thing I noticed with that, Wes, is that by about 3 or 4 weeks in, we ended up talking about the same drivers every week. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but the thing is the people that win are the ones that ended up on the Live's Top 5, right. And the guys that win we end up talking about on the podcast anyways. And I really wanted to find a way to talk about our as many different local racers from as many different classes as we possibly can. And one thing I want to do is I want to get them on this podcast, but we only have so many podcasts every year. So I thought it would be a good way to do a driver of the week, pick a totally random driver, no rhyme or reason behind who it is, just totally random each and every week. And yeah, just to spotlight them and give them a chance to be on the show. This week's driver, to be honest with you, the way I picked him, I saw a Jeff Soxie post, was looking at who had liked it. This guy had liked it. I was like, looks good to me. Driver of the week here for our first podcast is Austin Kawasaki. He's a regular front-wheel drive racer over at Thunder Mountain Speedway. And so Austin really was messaging back and forth with him the other day, and I'm always curious about how and why people get involved in racing. And Austin says he has a Uncle Benny, had an Uncle Benny who was more like a papaw to him than an uncle growing up. And Uncle Benny raced for several years at Corbin Speedway. I know you grew up, spent a lot of time there at Corbin. I don't know if you remember Bunny or not, but he raced for several years there at Corbin. Do you remember?
What was his last name?
I don't know. I should have got that information, but I didn't. I figured Bunny, the first name Bunny should, if it should be pretty recognizable. But
right, that might have been way before my time.
Yeah, I don't know, but he did. He said he raced at Corbin Speedway, and growing up, he never got to see Bunny race. But growing up, Bunny would always tell him racing stories, and he enjoyed listening to those stories. And he said that also on Sundays they would listen to the NASCAR race on the radio, which I thought was pretty cool too. I don't know, it's been a long time since I've listened to a NASCAR race on the radio, man, but it was pretty fun. Like, did you ever listen to them? Because like they'd have the booth, calling the race up there, and then we've got trouble in turn 3, like down on the racetrack. It was really a cool perspective. But it's been a while since I've heard.
I've listened to some NASCAR races on the radio. Not here recently, but growing up when I was younger, listened to him and him talking about Corbin Speedway. I mean, shoot, I spent many a Saturday night down there at Corbin Speedway. A lot of good memories, and I guess one of those places that I cut my teeth in racing down there at Corbin. So
Yeah, I know you did. Well, I mean, I just imagine like maybe we could do like a radio show for dirt tracks. It'd be like BRN Bluegrass, I don't know, BGRN Bluegrass Radio Dirt Racing Radio Network, and I could be up in the booth and Wes down there in the infield. Oh, we've got a tire running loose over in turn 3. I don't know, man. I think it'd be fun. What do you think?
I mean, tire. I'll catch it.
Does anybody listen to the radio these days, though? That might be the issue. I don't know, man. It might not work in 2024, but it sounds fun anyway. So I don't know. But he said Bunny always told him too that if he wanted to have any money in his bank account, don't buy a race car. If he wanted to have millions of dollars worth of fun, buy a race car. And so that's kind of how his passion for racing started there. A few years back, Austin started helping Eric Parton, and one night Eric let Austin roll the track in, and it was over from there. Austin said after he went out on the racetrack, he had to go buy a race car. And he mentioned Eric Parton. Of course, we talked about. I think he was our Live's Top 5 final number 1 there in the front wheel drives. But it's really cool too for someone like Austin, new to the scene, to have someone like Eric, helping him out. That's something that is. Means a lot to someone new to the sport, and it's something that's very important to someone like Austin. So really cool to hear of Eric helping him get along. So.
Yeah, and that's a really good mentor right there. Not only is Eric tough to beat on the track, but just a really good guy and full of knowledge in racing. So that's a good one to lean on for advice, and all you can learn and soak up from him. You need to.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. That's definitely the case. And he said he also enjoys racing at Rockcastle and Lake Cumberland, in addition to mainly racing at Thunder Mountain. In his first year, he finished 3rd in points at Lake Cumberland Speedway. That was 2 years ago. And then last year at Thunder Mountain, he finished 2nd in points. The year Thunder Mountain opened, the first year they opened, those first few races toward the end of the year, he said he went out, set fast time, won the heat race, came out for the feature, and blew a tire in the feature, leading it. So that was his biggest memory. So hopefully the next time he goes out, sets fast time, wins a heat race, he won't blow a tire. He can pick up that checkered flag if he can get Eric Parton out of his way. So
yeah,
we'll see. Yeah. So sponsors, Ball Brothers Excavation and Lawn Care, Clayton Homes of Williamsburg, Tri-County Plumbing Solutions, Sharps Race Cars, Garcia's Lawn Care, Roland's Garage, New Beginnings Real Estate, Whiskey Gypsies LLC, Stack Brothers Flooring and Cabinetry, and Fields Electrical Services. So that is, once again, Austin Kawasaki, our Wayne's Auto Repair driver of the week here on Dirt Racing and the Bluegrass Live. We certainly appreciate Wayne's Auto Repair. Go see our buddy Wayne for all your automotive needs. Not only does he sponsor this podcast, but he sponsors a whole lot and does a whole lot for dirt racing. So be sure to check him out and use him for all your automotive needs. All right, Wes, that's about all I can say in a couple minutes' time. I'm going to need to take a couple deep breaths, so we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back with you, and we'll be on here with Dwayne and Michelle Harris from Rockcastle Speedway.
Hi, I'm Chris Lowry with Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. From simple service work to full paints, roofing, flooring, and everything in between, we're your one-stop shop for your home maintenance and remodeling needs. Our family has been serving the Richmond area for 3 generations, and we're proud to continue that today. You also voted us the best general contractor in Madison County in 2022. We thank you for that honor. Give us a call for all your construction needs at 859-353-1133.
All right, and welcome back to the Dirt Racing and the Bluegrass Live podcast. We thank you for sticking with us here as we're running just a little bit behind schedule. This guest segment, I almost forgot to say, is brought to you by Fast Track Plumbing. So Wes has said before, man, if it comes to a home, anything you need for a home, we've got you more than covered here on Dirt Racing of the Bluegrass Live. So, but Fast Track Plumbing, Calvin Carlton, saw them at Florence this past weekend. Be sure to check them out. Give them a call for all of your plumbing needs. And it's good to have our good friends Dwayne and Michelle Harris here on the podcast with us this evening. You know, the beginning of last year we had you on the show. I think we started with you guys as our first one. I can't remember for sure, but it was one of the first. And you guys had just taken over Rockcastle Speedway. We're total strangers. A lot of people didn't know you. We didn't know you. Had never met you before, but and then you guys quickly became good friends. So we appreciate you all coming on here with us.
Yeah, glad to be on here tonight. Little different. We've got our grandson with us tonight, so you may hear some wild noises, but kind of unexpected. We had to keep him tonight, but we were asked, so we're trying to make two things happen tonight. So just bear with us.
Oh man, that's no problem at all.
He'll be just fine.
Yeah. He's driving a monster truck around or something, so.
Yeah, just let him jump right in there. He might just take over the show, and it'll be all right.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Ready to see you at the track. Ready to sell some World Wide West combos and ready to get things rolling for the year. So it's been a long winter, but short. You know, it's one of those that it's never going to end, and then all of a sudden, oh my God, it's time to go racing. So.
Right.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I bet everybody out there putting their race cars together has done the same thing. You know, it's we've got forever, and then all of a sudden, oh my God, we got to scramble and get this thing together. So we're looking forward to it.
I've always been a last minute kind of guy anyways. You know, you got the whole off season, but we'll just wait till a couple of weeks before showtime. Be all right.
Yeah, absolutely. Then we last minute looked at the forecast. Next week looks like rain, so we thought, hey, let's go ahead and throw a practice on this weekend. The weather's going to be decent, so I'm sure a lot of people are scrambling just to hurry up one more week. So apologize to everybody there, but hope it works out.
Yeah,
you got to go when the weather's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially this time of year, because you just never know. I mean, not just with the rain, but with the temperatures, man. Like, I mean, it's just it went from 70 to I've just about froze to death this week, you know, playing in water, and that's no fun. And I'm ready for springtime. Like, come on, warm weather, stay with us, because you know, this stuff.
I think Monday here it was flurrying off and on all day, and I'm like, that's crazy. I'm ready for warm temperatures, not cold and snow and rain. And the hotter the better for me.
Yeah. I've seen you fish in some tournaments though, Wes, and it's made me want to get out on the water. But I think I'm ready for the fish to bite sooner than they're ready to bite. So
that's me too. But oh well, you just gotta stay out there and be patient.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wes, what are you now? You're like what is it called? Pro.
I'm on Big Al's Guns and Outdoors Pro Staff.
Pro staffer. Yeah, today, that's what I was going for.
Today I had a new jig color that, you know, I've got cheeseburger combos named after me. I got bass jigs by Bad Boy Jigs named the World Wide West. So
man,
moving on up.
Yeah, what's it going to be next? I don't know.
So we're in such great company.
Yeah. I know, man. So I'm just going to ride his coattail all the way to the end. So we'll just, you know.
Well, I'm riding yours to get on this podcast, so I guess we just be riding each other.
I guess we'll ride it. Yeah, I guess we'll ride each other's as long as we can. So
the dynamic duo.
Yeah. You probably end up nowhere if you're riding my coattail. I'm just telling you. But hey, you know, at least you've got one to ride. So
Cats better win tomorrow is all I know. You going to Pittsburgh?
They better win. I'm telling you, man. I'm tired of making trips, you know, halfway across the country. Actually, it's just 5 hours, but just to watch them lose. So I hope they win tomorrow too. Well, I'm curious. You guys, we brought you on here last year. You'd never, and you new to the racetrack promotions and ownership and all that good stuff. I'm imagining the off season. The off season is kind of a tough deal and a lot of time to get through, and you've got to be just ready to be back in business there at the racetrack. I was thinking about this, man, like you're talking about almost 6 months of idle time at a racetrack. That's a lot, really.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, but it flew by, forever. But no, it flew by. We put our heart and soul into the track year, from the day we opened, the day we closed on the property until the end of the race season. We put our heart and soul into it. So many hours. At the end of the year, for December, we traveled a whole lot. It was a break for us. We had to take ourselves away for a little bit, and so it's been a good break. A lot of brainstorming over the winter. Just regrouping, and we hope to come back better. It's better this year than we were last year. We learned a lot last year. There was, what a learning curve. Who would have thought? But, you just had Bill on there, a whole new respect for Bill and what he does, and every other track promoter out there, to take the beating on Facebook or social media. Man, that's hard sometimes, but
sure.
You let it roll off your back and keep going. Try to do the best you can. Yeah, that's the last thing promoters need to do is attack each other, because man, it's a heck of a job. It's awful. I mean, it's brutal at times, and for us to attack each other, I mean, what does that do any good? That just makes it harder on everybody.
Yeah. Because I mean, ultimately at the end of the day, you're battling the same things. You're dealing with the same issues and fighting the tough battle. We talked about this between ourselves just recently, Wes. I mean, doing this podcast. I mean, I was a kid. My parents ran a racetrack, but I was a kid. I don't remember. I mean, I remember the bad of it. Trust me, I do. I remember drivers coming through the concession window and my papaw going the other side of the concession, on the other side, and just people upset and mad, and a lot of money lost, and just about lost everything they had over it. But Wes and I talked about this. I mean, doing this podcast, getting close to you guys, all of the promoters and track owners here in Kentucky, it really gave us a whole new appreciation and vantage point, really, into what our track owners and promoters go through, and just how hard this thing is. And I'll be honest with you, I don't want to do it. I wouldn't want to do it. I'm glad you all do, though, and I appreciate what you guys do. It's not for just anybody. It's not an easy thing to do. It's a tough gig, and you talk about social media and stuff. Man, people need to just support you guys as much as and our racetracks need to support each other and lift each other up and not go at each other. I agree with you completely on that.
Yeah. I agree. It's, it's easy to sit on social media and criticize, whether it's my track, whether it's any other promoters. It's easy to criticize what they would do different. Mm-hmm. It's easy to walk up to someone and say, well, if you would do this to the track, if you would do that. But, until you're sitting on the grader, till you're sitting on the tractor, in the back cars and the water truck, I'm going to tell you, it looks easy from the stands, but man, I'll tell you, I see some of these promoters, and, I respect them and what they're doing. And even when they fail, I say fail, when they get criticized, I know that hurts, that stings.
Yeah.
Everybody out here doing it, they're human beings. It's not like we're robots walking around and we just screw up. We're humans. I'm sure Bill's trying his best every time he puts a show on. And if it don't work out, people blame him. Same thing for us. If it don't work out, they look at us and they say, well, you screwed up. Yeah.
Right.
It isn't like any promoter intentionally does that, but people need to learn a little bit of grace. But I have over the year, you talked about us not ever promoting. Man, what a learning curve. And I guess that's what I've got out of it the most is respect for other promoters throughout the year. I have learned that, a lot of racers will take you for granted, but there are ones that are die hard. They're pro Rockcastle or they're pro Richmond, and that's all they'll ever be. And you just respect that as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just like Josh said, I mean, we doing this podcast and being right there with you all and all of our tracks promoters and being right there and seeing some of the tough decisions y'all had to make. And we're right there with you all. It's not us making the decision, but we're close to you all. And each and every one of you guys, we always talk about the dirt racing family, but it's just like a family, and we've drawn closer to you all, but it's definitely eye opening, for us, and the more that we do and get involved with the racing and our tracks, the more that we see. But I've got to brag on you all because you took the bull by the horns and really didn't know all that you was getting into, and we was there from the very first race, and we were there. Josh and I was there, and we was all running around with like chickens with our heads cut off, but it was a great night. Survived, and to see how much you all growed as the year progressed is awesome. And speaking for that, but for all of our tracks, you help each other, you learn from mistakes, and you get better. And as you said earlier, we look into this year. What can we do this year? 2023 was a good year. How can we grow and make 2024 that much better? And that's the key for all of us. How can we make like this podcast and this show? What can we do for our fans, and what can we do to make this year that much better? And if we keep working and striving for that, it's just the sport's going to keep growing. Hopefully we'll reach new people that's never been to a race, and they become fans this year. That would be great.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. We have people too, throughout the time of doing this podcast to say things to us along the lines of, everything ain't always as good as you all make it seem, or you got, or say, you guys should talk about the bad every now and then. People want to hear that too. And my thing about that is, like you said, nothing is perfect. No one is perfect. That's the reality. That's the truth. No event you're going to go to is always going to be just sunshine and rainbows and just the way everybody wants it to be, and the track's perfect and all this stuff. But there's plenty of negativity out there to be found. If you want to see negativity, you can find it. But I've always said, and we've always said, that this podcast will never be that. If you want that, you'll have to go somewhere else to find it. There's plenty of it out there. We don't need to do it here. Because you can choose to look at the bad parts, the things that weren't perfect, or you can choose to appreciate what was good. And there's always good. Every time I've ever been to a race, it's been a whole lot better than being at the house. So what's there to complain about? So, yeah. Anyways, that was a big long soapbox.
That wasn't on the bingo card, but anyway.
That was totally unplanned. But hey, maybe it needed to be said. But I don't want to talk about your all season. at coming up at the racetrack. Let's start just hitting the highlights of the schedule, and then of the racing schedule, and then I want to talk about some of the things at the track outside of just dirt car racing that you're planning on doing as well. So let's get to some of those events, some of the good stuff.
Yep, we've got of course we had the 30th and the 6th. The 30th of March, April 6th, is open practice. That was just let some people in. Let's make some laps. We moved that ahead. We're still, the 30th practice looks like it's up in the air. We're going to play it by ear. Depending on weather, we may or may not get that in, So 2 or 3 weeks of just open practice, just let people in, make some laps. Then we have our season opener, the 13th, just a regular night. Taking the 20th off, and then the 27th, we have the Cumberland Plateau Series come in. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It changed to May 4th. If it wasn't for here,
keep him straight, Michelle.
Yeah.
But you can't blame me when she printed off the schedule and it's got the wrong stuff on there.
Oh.
No. Anyways, May 4th, that's going to be a big deal. We've got the Cumberland Plateau Series. We've got the American All-Stars. And we've got the Legend cars as well coming in that night. So, May 4th will be a big deal. A lot going on that night. June 1st, we've got the Working Man 50, the Randy Jones Memorial. That was a big deal last year, so we really hope that's a big deal. That will be with Alan Tilley. He's gonna kind of, I'm not gonna say head that up, but it's gonna be sanctioned under the KDRA stuff, or his series. So we're looking forward to working with him and seeing how that goes and how that plays out for the super stock guys. Just the Tommy Lanham Memorial Race, that's going to be a big one for us this year. That's exciting for all of us. Last year, time after time we got, are you going to run supers? Are you going to run supers? Mm-hmm. We just wanted to get our feet wet last year. We didn't want to veer off path too much of what Brian them had. We just wanted to carry on what was going on because it was working. When we come into buying the track, of course we wanted to run supers, but of course the money you put up for supers, it's a different ball game than we just wanted to make sure what was going to work. From day one, we wanted to run Crown Vics. That was a big deal. It's always been a goal. I love classes like that.
Yeah.
But the first year we didn't want to make a change to any of that schedule. We just wanted to carry on with what we had going on and then see what worked and progress off of that. We didn't want to upset the ball too much or whatever. Yeah. We were just rolling with it. He's snoring.
We put him to sleep.
Yeah, we put him to sleep. I don't blame him.
We do have some fun days at the track planned this year. Last year we had an endurance race, like a 2-hour endurance race, some backwards racing, and I tell you what, people loved it. I mean, we had so many smiles. It was fun. It was a blast. So we hope to do some more of that. Of course, we're running the American All-Stars Series weekly points again this year. So I know some guys got some money and weekly points out of that series. It was a good thing for us last year. We'll see how it goes this year. We've changed the tire rule. Not trying to make people just buy new tires, but that series, I think really is going to help even up the playing field in the crate cars.
Yeah.
They're putting everyone on $180 American Racer tire. I mean, it does limit you a little bit, but man, when you're buying a $180 tire versus others, we're really hoping it helps our weekly racers not have to spend as much money. But We've got the Sandy Adams Memorial Race again this year. That'll be with the Cumberland Plateau Series. I do believe that's when they're going to wrap their series race up. That will be their final points race for the year. I think they'll kind of, I'm not speaking for them, but I think they will be able to kind of crown their champion for the year at that event. We've got another mini stock special. That'll be in September. Mm-hmm. We are running mini stocks again this year. You know, a lot of people ask if we were. It was worked out. We had a couple of sponsors come on board. We had Norman's Mobile Home Movers. They come on board and actually sponsored that class to keep it alive. You know, it was a debate between us whether we wanted to keep them on the schedule, but we had a couple of sponsors that really helped that out. So, yeah. If anybody gets a chance, thank Matthew Norman for that. He's first and foremost, he's put the money up for it. We've got another sponsor in the works on that. You know, so we're thankful for those guys. And then we wrap up with King of the Rock again. You know, we had that last year where we crowned, where they all wore the crowns, and it was another fun day, but a very serious day of racing. And we look forward to all of that again this year. So.
Yeah, the King, the crowning of the Kings weekend was that was a lot of fun. That was a fun way to end the year last year too. So
I counted. I give away all those crowns, and they wasn't one in there for me. So
no, you get your combo. You ain't getting a crown. You can't have your combo and crown too, buddy. So just I
can't have my cheeseburger, my Pepsi product, and my jailbreaker chips. I can't have that and have a crown too. Well, I'll just take the Worldwide West combo.
Yeah, that's
you can have the crown.
Yeah, I don't blame you. So that's I don't blame you at all there. And so really, and again, you said it. You talked about the super late models, and if I had $1 for every time somebody asked or commented or made some sort of something about when are you going to have late models, I'd be rich. So, but seriously, I mean, I understand your all's standpoint of it, but I'm looking forward to seeing supers at Rockcastle as well.
Me too. And our decision to work with Bill, you know, I live 1.6 miles from Richmond Raceway, so Bill's almost a neighbor. You know, he's just right up the road. So
I
think good business. We're going to give a chance. Gives us a chance to work with Bill and his wife Stacy. So looking forward to that, and looking forward to as well the Crown Vic Weekend Warrior deal that Bill has. I guess he's heading that up.
Yeah.
And I really look forward to what that's going to bring and the racers that the Crown Vics are going to bring in.
Yeah. Oh man. I'll be honest with you. I'm more excited about I know people think I'm crazy. I'm sure some people will, because I know people love supers and that sort of thing. I'm more excited about Crown Vics this year than anything. I think that's going to be awesome. I mean, I'm telling you, if it's anything like what I've seen at other places in other parts of the country, it's going to be an awesome thing for our tracks and drivers and fans in our area.
I agree. Yeah. We had the fun day last year at the end of the season, and it was kind of the preview of the Crown Vics, and to see them out there door to door. No, they weren't setting the world on fire, but I'm telling you, door to door racing, and nobody was run off leaving nobody. It was awesome to see. It took me back to the days of Richmond Raceway, watching Road Hogs.
Road Hogs, yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah. Oh man, I know I think, and I do see that like I saw that Dylan Jones, and they're working on some tech stuff and really trying to work on some of that and make sure they keep it in line, because I think that is the key to it, and we all know how hard that is, how difficult a thing that is. I do think that because of the rule package and because of the car and how simple it should be in theory. I know how racers are too. They can make something real simple and find a way to add something to it to gain some speed. But I think if they can keep it in line, it'll be the closest thing we'll ever see to that old, just like stock Roadhog. Maybe you got a B main running for the Crown Vics, man, and they're beating and banging and running over each other, and it'd just be so much fun.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I would love to see some B main racing for Crown Vics. Yeah. I mean, 30 of them show up. That tickle me. That would make my day.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, Lake Cumberland's running them too this year, so several of our tracks running them. It's just, I'm telling you, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
And I've heard of a lot of guys and gals that are building cars, in the off season. So it's the Crown Vics are going to be fun this year.
Yeah, yeah, they will be. Well, let's talk real quick before we let you go. Let's talk about some of the stuff besides round track racing you're going to be doing this year. I know you've got one thing. We'll at least talk about one of the things coming up here shortly.
Yeah, we have decided that go-kart racing, there's a lot of tracks around. I don't know, our go-kart count was pretty low. There's several tracks around us, and we didn't need to put that pressure on them. And so we decided not to race go-karts again this year, and we replaced it with something a little different. So we wanted to do some mud runs. We're hoping to do 4 or 5 this year. We've pretty much got the track done in the infield. It did cut into our go-kart track, so it's a little different. The infield layout's going to be a little different this year. But a positive response for sure with the mud runs. And we're in Rockcastle County. Everybody's got side-by-sides. Everybody's got Jeeps, everything four-wheel drive down there. So I think the local community is really going to support that and come out strong. And we've heard talk of, people from Indiana and West Virginia, Ohio, different places, plan on coming in and doing some racing with us. We've had some sponsors step up.
Yeah.
We've got more money on the line than we've posted.
Yeah.
Our first one's April 19th. We have posted the payout, but some of that, we've got money pending on upping a lot of that. A lot of the winning prizes will be up. The money will be higher. So everybody stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be great. Just something different to see.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think we're hoping to do 4 or 5 throughout the year. It's not going to be an every weekend thing. We're not going to wear it out. So we're hoping that it's just enough to keep you entertained, but not bore you with it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I don't think it'll be boring. I think it'll be a good thing for the racetrack. Maybe bring some people into the racetrack that wouldn't necessarily come to a race to see that. It'd be a good thing for the county there and people around Rockcastle County. A lot of people enjoy mud runs. I always did going to the fair and seeing it and that sort of thing. So I think it'll be a really good thing. I do.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's kind of cool to have different events like that. I mean, you all had the mud runs. Thunder Mountain this past weekend had the motorcycle races. Lake Cumberland has the demolition derby. So, having those other events like that is only going to bring new fans in the stands that'll come on a weekly basis and watch your racing program. So, I think it's a win-win, and just another way to pack the stands.
I agree.
Yeah.
So
we've got 78 acres there, so there's plenty of woods and trail riding and plenty of rocks to climb. So stay tuned. There may be some type of a Jeep event later in the fall this year. You know, that's in the works in the brainstorming phase. We're working with a guy right now, so there may be some kind of rock crawling competitions as well going on late in the year. So we're just trying to utilize the property. No sense in having it if you're not going to use it. So
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
it's definitely going to be a different type of year for us, and hopefully exciting for everyone, us and the spectators.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it will be for sure, and really looking forward to it. And everything will hopefully everything will work out. We can be there again opening night this year. We'll see. We had a lot of fun up there at Rockcastle Speedway this past year, and looking forward to it. I missed that one.
I said I've got pictures to prove it.
Yeah, you do have. Yeah, you certainly have pictures to prove it. Maybe a few videos out there somewhere. And
Yeah.
so,
Me and Sherry in Victory Lane.
Yeah. yeah,
We'll share that sometime on the podcast.
yeah,
A blur of someone.
yeah. Probably not. Probably keep that one on.
that night and morning was all a blur, and then the rooster's crowing. It's like, wake up! Well, we ain't never been to sleep.
The sun's coming up. Are you kidding me?
Don't know what happened.
Man, so much fun. I mean, it really is, and that's what racing's all about. Like, I mean, honestly, the people and the fun is, I don't know, man. It's the reason I go to the track. Like, I love racing, don't get me wrong, but like just being there and hanging out with people at the racetrack is there's just nothing else like it. So
Yeah.
Absolutely. Guys, we appreciate everything you all do. The way you promote not only Rockcastle, but every other track around here. You guys are great for the sport. The more I know you, the more I realize how much you guys do for every track around here. It's not one in particular. You guys do a great job, and keep on doing what you're doing.
yeah.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, like I said,
Thank you all.
I consider you all really good friends, and we appreciate you all as well. Like I said, and thank you for coming on here tonight. We're looking forward to a brand new season at Rockcastle. We'll be there for sure.
Yeah, I didn't mean to steal the spotlight from Michelle. She sat here beside me all night. I don't know. She might have had something to say, but
She's busy. She's busy snuggling that baby. So yeah.
I messed her. So.
yeah, absolutely. Well, Dwayne, Michelle, thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you in a few weeks over there at the racetrack.
Guys, look forward to it. Have a great night.
Yeah.
Right.
Y'all too.
Sounds good.
Have a good
Thanks.
year.
Thank you all.
All right, so Richmond Raceway, Rockcastle Speedway knocked out 2 for 1 here tonight. We're going to get to the rest of our racetracks. We'll try to have 2 or 3 on the show. Just going to try to get to all of them and give them enough time to come on here and preview their season. That's something that's really important to us and something that I look forward to. I think it's a really good thing for our racetracks. So.
Yeah, it is.
Here we go. All right, just a couple other things. I've got to wrap this thing up, Wes. I've got a young and the studio is now beside Brantley's bedroom, so no more staying on here all night. So let's see, where are we at here? All right, Keltner contracting weekend outlook. Not a whole lot going on around here locally besides several practice sessions coming up at our local racetracks. So get out, check them out. Nothing better to do here in the off season if you're not doing anything else. Go to some of those practice sessions going on around in our area. Like Rockcastle said, they ended up throwing that one on late, seeing that the weather was going to be good this weekend. So hopefully that'll work out good for all of our racetracks here in the area. We've got as far as right here in the region though, we've got Atomic Speedway on Friday night and Brownstown Speedway on Saturday night for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Fingers crossed that they're able to get them in. Hope that weather holds out, because it's a fun weekend when they're able to have it. But almost seems like it's about 50-50. It seems like every year on whether or not they get to run that. So we'll see.
And I already saw where World Outlaws has canceled their weekend, so might get some Woo drivers to come to Ohio and Indiana and run with Lucas this weekend. So looking forward to it. Like you said, fingers crossed that the weather cooperates, and that's always a good Friday night, Saturday night deal. You know, first weekend of racing outside of Florida Speed Weeks.
Yeah, it is for sure. And one other thing, we've got the DirtmanDiecast.com Steak Dinner Pick'em Challenge. I took home the challenge last year. Wes got it the first year. We're gonna do it again this year, each and every week here on the show. We appreciate DirtmanDiecast.com. Check them out for all of your diecast needs. Also, you can see him at several of our racetracks. He'll be set up there selling some good stuff. So be sure to check him out. So our Pick'em Challenge this week, Wes, we're going to do something a little bit different since we don't have any races around here locally. So I thought with all the news going on the last couple of weeks here nationally, it's been a quiet few weeks. You had Tiregate, and then you had, early on last week, people saying, I was seeing it all over the place. Hudson's out at Rocket One. This was a couple of days before the news officially broke, and I'm like, everybody's saying this, and I'm like, man, no way. It doesn't make sense. And then it ends up happening, and then all just been crazy. Tim McCready to the Rocket One. So for just, man, what a crazy time there. Like 2 or 3 days in the dirt late model world was just, it was insane.
Yeah, the national scene, drivers just trying to get through the month of March. So they're just, can April just, get here? And as you mentioned, just a lot going on. I mean, the Tiregate, those drivers involved, and Hudson O'Neal and Rocket One, and now McCready's in, and where's Hudson O'Neal going to go?
I know.
So
and we
much. So
Yeah.
much speculation and rumors, and you know how the mill goes. Going to be an interesting weekend in the national scene for sure.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is we still don't have like a official confirmation on what we know. Hudson's going to be racing, but that's what we know officially. And so a lot of rumors still swirling around that. So for our Steak Dinner Pick'em Challenge, I want to all right, so you highest average finish between the two races. I'll let you go first since I won last year. I'll let you go first, give you a chance to get off to a good start this season. Highest average finish this weekend, is it T-Mac or is it Hudson?
I'm going with Hudson O'Neal.
Okay.
The new deal.
Yeah. Well, it's a good pick, man. I mean, honestly, because he's fat. He's just, you look at, I mean, even before he went to Rocket One, man, he's just a talent. And I don't think it matters what, he's going to be in something decent.
Well,
good. He's going to be in something, he's going to be in a good ride, and he's going to be tough to beat no matter where he's at.
I've got about a 99.9%. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag, but I know the ride that Hudson's going to be in. And it's a good ride, which regardless, he's going to be in a good ride. Long term, who knows what's going to happen? But these first couple weeks, we'll see what happens. But you look at Atomic and Brownstown, both two of his best tracks. Brownstown especially. I mean, he grew up there. Mm-hmm. Being from Indiana, his dad raced there, and just the family, the O'Neal family, just that's a hallowed ground there at Brownstown for both of those two. So I had to pick Hudson, for the highest. And T-Mac's good at both tracks too, but I just
he isn't.
Got to go with Huddy.
Yeah, and you can't go wrong with the Rocket One car. T-Mac's a great driver, so we'll see. Well, hopefully I'll get off to another good start here. And you made the wrong pick, but we'll have to wait till after Saturday night to find out. It has been another great show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in here with us this evening. We had really good numbers here for our first Wednesday night back here on the podcast. We'll be back here next Wednesday night, 8 p.m. We'll be talking to Brandon Hargrove with Lake Cumberland Speedway, Ponderosa Speedway, and going over all the details of the upcoming season there at those two tracks. So really looking forward to that. But again, I do want to thank everybody for jumping on here with us, commenting. We had plenty of comments and stuff there going on. No phone calls tonight. We'll pick back up on that on the Absolute Seamless Gutters hotline next week. But again, thank you for joining us. We can't wait to see you all next week, and before long we'll be seeing you at the racetrack.
Y'all have a great night.